comfortable seat. If you can, sit cross-legged because we'll work from there. And if you want, we could all start with the same leg in front. We could do the right leg in front. And then we'll make our way onto the other side in a few minutes. So, and just noticing where your knees are at when you sit cross-legged, and try not to push anything, just see where you're at. And if the knees are quite lifted and you want a little support, you can always put a blanket or blocks under your thighs and just support them here. And then let your hands rest on your lap. Allow your shoulders to move away from your ears. Find a bit more of a lifted spine. And if you are comfortable closing eyes, let your eyelids softly rest on your eyeballs. And find that relaxed face, the jaw. Maybe the forehead expands. And then let's just draw that attention to the breath. As always, set the basis for our practice. And a breath that you can come back to throughout your practice. And the breath is not one more thing to do, but actually it's something that will enrich your practice, your movement, the shapes that you place your body in. Make you a bit more aware of what's happening and how things are feeling in your body today. And then not only noticing the physical body, but noticing any mindset, any emotional states, feelings. So if you haven't already, breathe a bit more through the nose and try to lengthen your inhales and your exhales. Be a bit more intentional about expanding through your chest and rib cage as you breathe in. And then add that intention to your exhales. Draw the belly towards the spine and then towards the lower ribs as you push the air out of the body. Take a few more cycles here. And then if your eyes are closed, open those eyes, reach your arms overhead. And then on your exhale, lower those arms all the way down by your side and plant your fingertips and just give a little push through those fingertips. And then again, reach your arms up overhead, maybe your palms touch. And then as you exhale, lower those arms, reach your hands out and then push through those fingers. See if you can feel a bit more action through your arms and your shoulders. Again, inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, lower those arms down and again press through the fingers. With your next inhale, reach your arms overhead. And then on your exhale, lower your left arm down, side stretch. Maybe you're coming onto your forearm or bending into that elbow. Draw your right shoulder open, so back and down. As you breathe in, come back through center, reach your arms up. And then as you breathe out, right arm down. And again, same thing on this side. Maybe bend the elbow, maybe forearm touches the ground. Get that stretch through the left side, open up the left side of your chest. As you breathe in, come back through center, interlace your fingers overhead, turn the palms towards the ceiling and push through those palms. Spread the shoulder blades, breathe in. On your exhale, round your spine and push the palms forward. Back body pushes back. As you inhale, reach your arms again overhead. And as you exhale, push the palms forward, round your spine, chin to chest. One more time like that, breathing in, lift. And breathing out, round and push away with your palms. As you inhale, lift your arms overhead. And on your exhale, release your palms, palms face forward, and then forward fold. Hands reach in front of you, chest towards the floor, reach your fingers a little further. Breath in and a breath out. Now working those hands towards the left side. Reach your right hand a little further, press your right sit bone down. Maybe you stack your hands one on top of the other. Take a full breath in and take a full breath out. As you inhale, walk your hands all the way through center and then all the way to the other side. Maybe you stack the left hand on top of the right and then again push that left sit bone down. Find that stretch through the left side of the body. Breath in and a breath out. And then as you inhale, walk your hands back through center and then walk your spine all the way up. And now bring your hands to rest on the inner part of your knees or your thighs. And you could do this with your palms or you could do this with your forearms. You choose. What we're going to do is we're going to push those hands, push those knees down, and then we're going to resist. So the knees are going to lift towards the hands. So you've got this like kind of a bit of a battle going with the press of the hands and then the knees trying to lift up. So you really have got to activate those legs and you're really pushing back into your hands. So see if we can do this for 5. Keep pushing and pressing down. 4. And again, 3, keep it going. 2, and 1. And now release. And notice if your knees drop a little bit more, there's a bit more opening through your hips. Take a full breath in, bring the shoulders up by your ears. And then release those shoulders down the back as you breathe out. Take another one just like that, breathing in to lift and breathing out to release. And then we're going to switch the legs. So bring the left leg in front or on top. And again, find your seat, your cross-legged seat. When you're ready, reach your arms overhead, breath in. And as you exhale, right arm down, side stretch. Again, you might come onto your forearm if that's available. Find that opening through the left side and the left side of your chest. As you breathe in, come back through center, reach your arms tall. And this time we're coming into a twist. Left hand behind us and right hand will cross over. Give yourself a breath in here and a breath out. With your next inhale, keep your right hand where it is and then cross your left arm over the right. See if you can reach the other knee or thigh and then round your spine. Pull on your knees and chin to chest. Feel that action and then feel that stretch through your upper back. Breath in and a breath out. As you inhale, release. Both arms lift up towards the ceiling and then we'll go to the other side. So left hand is going to come down by your side. Find your side stretch. Maybe you're coming onto that forearm. And again, emphasize that stretch through the right and that opening through the right side of your chest. As you breathe in, come back through center. And as you breathe out, find your twist towards the right. Right hand behind you, left hand crosses over. Pause for a breath in. A breath out. And then keep your left hand on your right knee and then cross your right arm over the left. See if you can find the other knee, the other thigh, and then bend your elbows to draw or pull on those legs as you round the spine. And once again, chin towards the chest. Notice that action through your arms and the stretch through that back body. Breath in and a breath out. As you inhale, release, reach your arms tall. And then on your exhale, let's lower those arms in front of us. And we're coming back into a forward fold. Walk those fingers away from you. Chest going forward and down. Get that length. And then we're going to take those fingers again towards the left side. This time we're going to find a little opening through the right side. So keep your left hand where it is. And then with your next inhale, your right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Your chest opens towards the ceiling, but you're still leaning towards the left thigh. And then as you exhale, right arm towards left hand, or right hand towards left hand. And then do that again. Right elbow can be bent. That might give you a little bit more opening too. Open the chest towards the ceiling. Exhale, right hand to left hand. One more time like that. Breathing in, open. And breathing out and lower. Now walk your hands back through center and then all the way towards the right side. And then we'll do this on this side. So get that stretch through the left. When you're ready, that left arm will open. Left side of the chest opens towards the ceiling. And then exhale, left hand towards right hand. And then again, a bend in that elbow, opening up, gazing up. And exhale, left hand to right. One more time. Inhale, open. And exhale, and lower. Walk your hands back through center. And then walk your hands back towards you as you find that lifted spine. Once again, bring your hands to your knees, to your thighs, maybe forearms. And we're going to push, find that active flexibility. So we're going to push those arms into the legs and then try and lift your legs. So try to lift your knees and doing that for 5. Keep it going. 4, so quite strong. And my voice might start quivering. 3. Keep pushing. 2. And 1. Relax, and maybe those knees can lower a bit more. You might have found a little bit more release through your hips, your thighs. From here, just give your shoulders a little roll. Bring them up by your ears. Relax them down the back. Do that again. Breath in, lift. And breath out to lower. One more thing here. Inhale, reach your arms tall. And as you exhale, interlace fingers, bring the hands to the back of the neck. Open up through the chest, elbows, and then round your spine, chin to chest, elbows towards the floor. Just pause, breath in, and a breath out. With your next inhale, rising up, your arms can lift. And then on your exhale, we're coming into a table pose. So hands can plant in front of you, and you might roll over those knees. I'll meet you with your hands on under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, the tops of the feet pressing down. Give a little push through that area of the body. And then finding some cows and cats, dropping the belly, bringing the chest forward, lifting the gaze, and rounding the spine, pushing the floor away. Doing that again. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Remember to free up your hips here. So as you breathe in, lift those sit bones, spread them. As you breathe out, tuck those sit bones and tailbone. One more time, breath in. And breath out, rounding through that spine. Now finding a neutral spine, bring your right knee a little bit more center, and then left leg is going to extend all the way out behind you. We're going to plant the ball of the foot and then push out through that heel. And you're pushing so much also through your arms that maybe you can float your right knee off the mat. Take a full inhale. Take a full exhale, draw belly to spine. One more inhale, pushing through hands. And then on your exhale, lowering that right knee, lifting that left foot, breath in. Exhale, knee to chest, round your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, maybe even up to shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Left knee towards your right elbow, cross it underneath you. Inhale, lengthen, pivot your right foot. We're coming into side plank with that right knee down. So your right knee is going to be under your right hip. Your left leg is extended out and your left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. See if you can keep your left leg lifted, flex through the foot. And then we'll find a little pulsation with that left leg. So as you inhale, lift it as high as you can, and then lower, and then lift, and lower, lift. Lower, lift. Feel that outer hip work and glute. Lift, lower. One more time. Lift And then on your exhale, return to table pose, knees under hips and hands under shoulders. Inhale, drop the belly, lift through the chest. And exhale, round the spine. Pause here for a moment, come onto your fingertips. Maybe those hands come closer to your knees. And you can really emphasize that space in the back body. Another breath in. And breath out. And then coming back onto your hands. And the right leg now is going to lift all the way out behind you, extend, and then plant the ball up the foot. Push out through the heel, and again, push through your arms. Find a little bit of space between your shoulder blades. So shoulder blades are moving in opposite directions, and with this action, see if you can float your left knee off the mat. Breathing in, breathing out. Another breath in, breath out. Last one, inhale. And then planting that left shin, right leg rises, breath in. On your exhale, knee to chest, rounding the spine. Lengthen, breath in. Now knee to the outside of that right elbow or climbing up towards the shoulder. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, lengthen, finding your side plank. Pivot on that left knee. Use your left shin as your kickstand. Right hand is under your right shoulder. Left hand, and right arm is reaching up towards the ceiling. And then again, we're going to find that pulsation through that right leg. So when you're ready, lift as high as you can, keeping your foot flexed, and lower, and lift, and lower. Lift. Squeeze those glutes, push the hips forward, lower, lift, lower, lift. One more time, lift. And then return to your table pose. Once again, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. From here, let's keep those knees and those hips in the same position. Hands are going to go wide and come all the way out into a puppy pose. Chest is coming down towards the floor. You might be on your forearms, your elbows. Allow your elbows to bend outwards, so you might find a bit more space for that chest, and allow it to lower a little bit more. And find that lift through your sit bones. Breath in and breath out. One more inhale and exhale. From here, we're coming all the way onto the belly into Sphinx pose. Those elbows under those shoulders, forearms parallel to one another. Palms are planted, and spread your fingers, but don't spread them too much. So you still can press through the fingertips, and there's a little bend in the finger joints. Draw the chest forward, lift through the top of the head, and now squeeze through your glutes and press the tops of the feet down. Notice that it takes from that strain in the lower back, so that glute work and that action through your forearms will really help not to compress too much the lower back. Breathing in and breathing out. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, let yourself lower that chest to the mat. Your forearms can come in front of you and your forehead can rest on them. Relax your legs, heels out, big toes might touch. Give yourself a breath in and give yourself a breath out. From here, engage your legs once again. So bring your heels back in. Bring your hands wide, plant your fingertips, palms are lifted, and then lift your elbows. So your hands are probably off your mat. And your wrists are more or less under your elbows and in line with your shoulders. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift and look over your right shoulder. Exhale and lower. Use your glutes here and your legs. Inhale, lift, look over your left shoulder. Exhale and lower. Inhale, come back through center, maybe look up towards the ceiling. And exhale, lower all the way. way down. Bring your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, move through all fours, and then find downward facing dog. Push the heels down, lift the sit bones up. Push through your hands, breath in, and breath out. And another breath in, and breath out. With your next inhale, walk your feet to your hands. And on your exhale, fold forward. Hold on to opposite elbows. And as you breathe in, straighten legs. As you breathe out, bend into your right knee. Breathe in, straighten that right knee. Breathe out, bend into the left. Breathe in, left straight. Right knee bends, breathe out. One more time, straighten right knee and bend left knee. And now bend into both knees, bring your hands to your hips, chin to your chest, and slowly unroll the spine as you make your way up to stand. Shoulders away from ears, arms resting by your side. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. With your next inhale, reach your arms tall. And as you exhale, right arm down, side stretch. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, other side. Inhale through center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands downward facing dog. Inhale, come out into plank pose. Hold here, exhale. Draw belly to spine, push the floor away. Stay here, or with your next inhale, walk your feet towards the right side without changing the position of your hands. Your feet are coming off the mat. And then bring your feet back through center. And then take them over towards the left side. Hands are still planted. And then bring your feet back through center. Regular plank here, take a full breath in. And then push back downward facing dog. Take a full inhale and a long exhale. With your next inhale, come out into your plank pose. And now on your exhale, we're lowering all the way down onto the belly. Maybe your knees come down first or keep them lifted. Think about your shoulders going beyond your wrists and then bending your elbows next to your rib cage as you lower all the way down. Once you're down on the mat, arms are going to come forward. Legs are reaching out behind you. Opposite arm and leg lifts. So we'll start with the right arm and the left leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Imagine that there was a string around your wrist and ankle, and that's where you're lifting from. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, keep your gaze down. Exhale, lower. One more time, keeping the hips on the mat. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. We're going to do the other side, left hand or left arm and right leg. Inhale, lift. Squeeze the right glutes. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, and lower. Last one. Breathing in, lift, and breathing out, and lower. Bring those hands under your shoulders, and from here, go straight into child's pose. Knees together, chest towards your thighs, and then grab onto opposite elbows as you let the forehead rest on your forearms. Take a full breath in. And take a full breath out. One more inhale. And exhale. And then once again, plant your hands in front of you, coming through all fours, and find your downward facing dog. Lifting those sit bones up and back, pressing the heels down and pushing the floor away with your hands. With your next inhale, walk your feet to your hands. Top of the mat, forward fold as you exhale. Once again, hold on to opposite elbows. Take a deep breath in. Bend your right knee straight and through the left. Hamstring stretch left side. Switch sides, bending into your left knee. Right side hamstring stretch. One more time each side. Center. Right knee bends. And center. And left knee bends. This time with your next inhale, bend both knees and come into chair pose. Arms come up by your ears. And then on your exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Give your wrists a little attention, interlace your fingers and find some rotation, palms together. Draw the belly towards the spine and see if you can sit down a little deeper. Switch the direction of the rotation through the wrists. Keep your weight in your heels, toes are free. And then pause the wrist rotation, reach your arms up and straighten your legs. On your exhale, left arm down, side stretch. Inhale, back through center. Other side on your exhale. Inhale, back through center. On your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. On your exhale, plant hands and once again, downward facing dog. Push through the hands, push down through the heels. Breath in and breath out. This time, walk your hands towards your feet. So we're coming to the back of the mat. And find your forward fold here. Check out those hamstrings. You might stay here with your hands in front of you. If you want to make this forward fold a bit more active, see if you can wrap your arms behind you. And you could even find kind of like a bit of an interlace. So your right arm comes behind your right leg and then between your legs, and you bring your right hand to the front of the left shin or even wrap it around it. And then the same thing with your left arm. It comes behind your left leg and then between your legs, and it comes to the front of the right shin. Okay? And then from here, squeeze yourself in and then push the outer part of your legs into your arms. Okay? So suddenly, there's quite a bit going on in this forward fold. So you're squeezing yourself in and you're activating through the outer part of your legs. And of course, those hamstrings are getting quite the stretch too. Make sure you don't overdo it. The backs of the knees, you don't want to overstretch those. Take another breath in. And another breath out. And then release whatever you have. And with your next inhale, little bend in those knees, hands to hips, and rising up to stand. Slowly take your time. Once you get there, shoulders away from your ears, adjust as you need to, let go of whatever happened before now. We're going to work into our pyramid poses, but we're going to add a little balance just before that. So just open mind, see what happens. So your grounding leg to start with was going to be your left. We're going to draw the right knee in towards the chest. Okay. See if you can bring your hands around your shin and then hug that knee in as much as you can. So bring it really close to you and really reach up through the crown of the head. Now you can stay here or you can add a little bit of a back bend. So you've really got to hold on to that leg, and that leg is almost like pushing forward, and you're going to kind of lean back. Your left glutes are really strong here. Your chest is turning towards the ceiling some. Just play with this. Breathing in. Don't take it too far. And breathing out. If you had any amount of back bend, bring yourself back up. And then from here, release that leg, extend it out in front of you. Hands can come to your hips. Take a full breath in. And then on your exhale, we're going to lower that right foot in front of us. So it's kind of coming to the middle of the mat or so, more or less. Okay, so both feet are going to be planted. Your back foot can come slightly at an angle if that feels good. And then make sure that your legs are hip width. So you're not on one track, you're not on a tightrope, you're on tracks, on train tracks, right? So that will help with balance too. So pyramid pose, it's all about that hamstring stretch, flexion through your hips. So try to keep a neutral spine as best you can. Take a full breath in, and then on your exhale, press down through the base of the big toe, engage your right quad, and begin to flex forward and down from your hips. You can keep your hands at your hips. You can lower your hands to your front shin, to the floor, or to blocks. But make sure that the rounding of the spine doesn't happen right away. So work on neutral spine. And if that means being halfway up, do so. That's how you'll get more of that hamstring stretch. If you round, you lose some of it. Engage through your front quad, kneecap lifting towards your hip, and then send your right hip slightly back. If you've got the balance and it feels good, you can even bring the hands behind you, holding onto opposite elbows. So there's definitely a balance factor happening here, so make sure you stay steady with your breath and your gaze. Right hip back, left hip slightly forward. Keep that quad active, breathing in and breathing out. And then with your next inhale, we're going to rise back up. Steady. Keep pushing through that front foot. And then release your arms, whatever you had with them. We're going to now come to stand on that right leg. So that's going to be our standing leg. So find a little bend into it and then see if you can come straight into that balance pose. That left knee is going to come into your chest. You can give it a squeeze. And again, feel free to stay here. Squeeze through that right glute. Maybe there's a little back bend available. Steady gaze. Breathing in, breathing out. If you had the back bend, come back up, neutral spine lifted, and then hands to hips. See if you can extend your left leg all the way out in front of you. Take a full breath in, and then on your exhale, we're planting that left foot forward. Okay, so now it's probably the left foot is kind of at the top of the mat, right foot is still like halfway down. And then once again, quad engaged. So those of us that tend to hyperextend, we very easily go here into that. So more effort in order to keep that micro bend in the knee to push down through the base of the big toe. Keep that leg engaged so you don't get into the back of the knee. Hands can stay on the hips. Take a full breath in, lengthen. And then as you exhale, hinge through the hips, chest forward and down. With control, keep pushing down into that front foot. Drawing that left hip back, right hip forward. And anything with your arms, you can plant them, framing that front foot. They can be on blocks. You could bring them to your shin. Keep them at your hips. Or bring them behind you just like we did on the other side. Keep lengthening through the spine. And if it helps, come up and down with your torso, keeping that neutral spine. Breath in. And breath out. Let's take one more inhale and exhale. And then when you're ready, hands can come back to the hips. See if you can make your way up. Keep pushing down through the feet, rising up, and then find a little bend into that front knee and step your back foot forward, coming into your mountain pose at the top of the mat. Relax the shoulders, wiggle your fingers. Notice if a lot of tension built up in the face or other parts of the body. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. With your next inhale, reach your arms up. And on your exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant your hands and step back, downward facing dog. With your next inhale, come out into plank pose. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows and come halfway down. You could do this again with your knees bent, planted or not. And then see if you can straighten up again. Let's do that 2 more times. Lower, halfway down. Up. Keep squeezing the glutes, draw belly to spine. 1 more time. Lower. And lift. From here, return to your downward facing dog. Step your feet a little forward and wide. And then see if you can cross your right arm underneath you towards your left leg. And you can grab a hold of the shin or the ankle and then pull your chest towards that thigh as you look under your left armpit. Keep weight into your right foot, breathing in and breathing out. And then release, right hand plants. And let's do the same with the left side. So make sure that your down dog is short enough so that you can find that and doesn't become a balance, too much of a balance work here. Grab that right leg and then draw that chest towards the thigh. Keep weight into your left foot, so don't let your hips shift to the right. And then push through that right hand. Breath in and breath out. And then release, plant that left hand, and now walk your hands towards your feet. Find this wide leg forward fold. Allow your head to hang. You can grab opposite elbows. Take a deep breath in. And take a long breath out. 1 more inhale. And exhale. And then from here, a squat. So bring the heels in and let's bend those knees and lower those sit bones towards the floor. Okay, so your arms are to the insides of your knees. You can bring the hands to touch at heart center and then use your elbows to broaden through those knees. You can also keep your hands on the mat for stability. And if your ankles or your heels are not on the ground, you can be on the balls of the feet. Keep working those knees out, wide and back, and keep drawing the tailbone down and find lift through the chest. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. 1 more inhale. And exhale. And then with your next inhale, push into those feet and see if you can rise all the way up to stand with your fingers reaching towards the ceiling. Bring your feet back to parallel, and as you exhale, fold forward. With your next inhale, walk your hands to the top of the mat, coming into your downward facing dog. Readjust, bring your feet back to hip width. Take a full breath in. And take a full breath out. 1 more inhale. And with your next exhale, lower your knees to the mat. And this time we're going to come into a table pose. And we're going to try and stretch the outer hips. So as you breathe in, right leg is going to reach out. And as you breathe out, cross that right leg over to the left side. And now bend your right knee. It's going to be behind your left knee. And see if you can find some space between your feet. And you might be able to go all the way and sit between your feet. If sitting doesn't work here, you could make your way there and then stack your knees. Get your knees one on top of the other. And then you can walk your feet away from you some. Make sure that there's no pain in the knees though. Okay. So cow face, legs here. And then we'll do the arms. So keep your legs as they are, reach your arms up overhead. And now right arm is going to come down by your side, turn your palm, slide it behind you, and then bend your top elbow and see if you can or grab your shirt or walk those fingers towards one another. Maybe they even find each other. Take a full breath in. Left elbow is pointing up, right elbow is pointing down. Full breath out. One more inhale and exhale. And then as you inhale, release, reach both arms towards the ceiling. On your exhale, bring your hands back to the mat. Come back into your table pose, unwinding the legs. We'll go on to the other side. So when you're ready, left leg rises, inhale, and then cross it all the way over to the right. Bend that left knee now is behind the right. Open up those feet and then see if your sit bones can go and land between those feet. So you're coming into this seat with your knees stacked, right knee over left. And again, a bit more stretch for outer hips, feet come out away from you. So depending on where you're at, they might come out more or less, but keep your knees stacked. And then reach your arms up, breathing in. And this time your left arm is going to come out to the side, turn your palm, and then slide that arm behind you, elbow bends, top elbow bends, and maybe those hands meet or hold on to the shirt. Again, left elbow points down, right elbow points up, belly to spine, head pushes back into those arms. Breath in, breath out. One more inhale and exhale. And then release, reaching both arms up once again. Hands come in front of you, come back into your table, unwind those legs. And then from here, make your way into a seat. So sending those feet to the side and then bringing those sit bones onto the mat behind you. Bring your feet in front and then let's take a few seated cows and cats. So your feet go wide, your knees, your hands around the shins, and breathing in, really pull yourself forward. And as you breathe out, round, push that back body back. Maybe even rock on those sit bones, come forward, you're more on the tips of those sit bones, and roll back, you're more on that sacrum. One more time, breathing in. And breathing out. And a neutral spine. One more thing here, since we've been doing quite a bit with those hips, you might find this available, so it might be fun. Hands out to hips or a little behind you. Take a full breath in, lengthen the spine. And then on your exhale, drop the knees towards the left side. Make sure that you've got enough space between your feet so your right knee can drop towards the floor. And then your right sit bone will be lifted. Your right hand is going to come over and kind of next to that left thigh. And now from here, spine stays lifted. Push that right knee down. See if you can lift your right foot off the ground. You'll notice that outer hip work. And now see if you can keep that right foot lifted and lift your right knee without changing much in your spine. Okay? Outer hip work. And then lowering foot and knee, and then switching sides. Right hand comes over, knees lift, and we're taking it over to the other side. Knees drop towards the right, left hand comes over, and then once again, trying to keep that spine lifted. See if you can lift your left foot, left knee presses down, and then keep that left foot lifted, and see if you can lift that left knee. Again, notice that there's that tendency to lean. See if you can stay. So outer hip work. And then release. Nice job. Bring that left hand over, lift your knees, and then we're going to walk those hands between the legs and get some good stretch through that lower back, side waist. Keep reaching through your fingers around the spine, drop the head. Maybe an open mouth exhale. And now walking your hands back towards you. Bring your feet hip width and make your way down onto your back body. Arms reach in front of you and slowly. Last thing to lower will be the head. And then once you're there, those knees can come into the chest and give yourself a squeeze. You might even lift that sacrum and that lower back. You might find a little rocking from side to side. And then if there are any other movements that you feel like doing, feel free to go there. Maybe a twist, dropping the knees from one side to the other. Maybe you stay here, hugging those knees in. Eventually, when you feel ready, find the most comfortable position for your body. And for these last moments of practice, allow yourself to settle in. So make any adjustments that might feel right. So maybe those shoulders need to broaden, need to drop. Maybe the back of the neck needs to lengthen slightly. Maybe those toes can do with relaxing, spreading. Maybe those fingers can curl. Allowing now the breath just to be a normal breath, one that doesn't require your thinking or your effort. And for these last moments, just letting ourselves be. The doing is done, and for a moment, let's pause it. And as always, if you can stay here for a bit longer, if you feel like it, please do. If you're ready to move, we can do it together. Engaging the breath, finding any movement in the body that works. Maybe small movements through fingers and toes, ankles, wrists. Maybe bigger movements through hips, through arms and legs. Maybe a big stretch for the whole body. And if you're on your back, roll onto the side. Give yourself a moment here to breathe in and to breathe out. And then use your hands to push yourself up, finding a comfortable place, a comfortable seat. You can rest your hands on your lap or bring your hands to your heart. And let's take a moment, as always, to acknowledge the practice. And then to acknowledge ourselves, to acknowledge those who practice with us, to acknowledge all those who make it possible. And we'll end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.